people of Kent, in town and countryside, are proud to be living in a county known as the Garden of England. For centuries, Kent has been one of the UK's most successful food-producing counties. 85% of the Kent landmass retains its rural designation, and it is farming and food production that have such beneficial influences on our county's unique landscape.
In the last Rural PLC annual report, we highlighted massive balance sheet strength in Kent's farming sector. We have to help the upstream farming end of the food chain build and strengthen to the extent that it can bring influence to bear on price and policy at financial and political levels. The fact is that the countryside is still dominated by agriculture, providing food landscape and a financial base. The food industry is one of Britain's largest employers and a significant generator of exports, and Kent's economic importance will escalate as demand for food increases.
At AC Goatham & Son, we have 14 farms around the county, growing 1,750 acres of top fruit. We also have 20 partner growers, growing some 1,850 acres of apples and pears for us. As a guide to volume, we grow as a group about 1.8 million cases of apples per annum. That equates to about 1/6 of the total national tonnage.
Gusbourne Estate owns 51 acres of vines here in Kent. We now have added to that with 54 acres of vines in West Sussex, all producing Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. The first wines were released in 2010, and in a short space of time, Gusbourne has become known as one of the UK's leading boutique wine producers.
Since the 80s, East Kent has suffered a series of economic and social setbacks, commencing with the closure of the last colliery in Betshanger in 1989. When you mention coal mining, the perception might be one of gloomy industrialisation. In fact, Kent coal mines were located in the countryside. Kent as a whole stands to benefit from the fact that there is a vision for the Betshanger 121 hectare site. This is a 21st century global laboratory for green technologies, with the creation of renewable energy at the vanguard. Green technologies industries worth billions of pounds in global terms afford massive opportunities for new businesses, the community and East Kent as a whole. The scheme also includes a very important component being the Heritage Park. This will showcase ultra-advanced sustainable energy production contrasted with the area's historic mining heritage.
Today's consumers are very much more interested in knowing how and where their food is produced. Demand for regional food is increasing exponentially from residents, tourists and visitors. Kent is on the foodie map.
We ensure that all of our wines are produced with 100% estate-grown fruit. All our grapes are hand-harvested. John Pollard delivers the grapes here to the winery, where Charlie Holland receives them, presses the whole bunches, and the juices are settled in these tanks and fermented to make the base wines.
These cellars are very important to the house because they have the perfect climatic conditions between 10 and 12 degrees Celsius. Once our wines are blended, they come and they stay here for a minimum of 3 years and sometimes much, much longer. Each one of our bottles is actually disgorged on our disgorgement machine so that the wine can be enjoyed under the absolute perfect conditions.
Today's rural industries are steered by experts. They are sophisticated, technologically driven and forward-thinking. Business activities are increasingly harmonised, and farm and business management go hand in hand.
We've invested 30 million in our business in the last 7 years. This is part of a long-term strategy we hope will help to grow our future. We're using the latest farm technology across a number of areas of our business. For example, we're using GPS global positioning to map our farms for the use of fertiliser. This has reduced our usage by up to 50% on some farms, with obvious cost savings and beneficials to the trees and the land. We're able to roll this knowledge out not only across our own farms, but also across those of our 20 partner growers. We work in close partnership with the businesses we supply to ensure our relationships are sustainable for the future.
The Betshanger Incubation Centre, with a wide range of tenancy alternatives, both short-term and long-term, will be of particular interest to entrepreneurs and fledgling businesses. Hadlow College acquired the site in mid-2013. As part of the scheme, it is our intention to create over 1,000 jobs during the initial first phase. It has been a real privilege leading the Betzanger Sustainable Parks scheme since its inception in 2008. We have worked closely with key partners including the Homes and Community Agency, Dover District Council and of course Kent County Council, who have been invaluable in their support to date.
Recognition of what the rural sector embraces is adopted by Rural PLC by driving forward inward investment, attracting venture capital, showcasing innovations, promoting research and development, redressing skill shortages and encouraging CPD.
Barclays have been making a valuable contribution to the rural sector industries for over 250 years. The team has over 2,000 years of banking experience linked to rural enterprises, agriculture, horticulture and land-based businesses. The bank recently supported an investment for a 27-year-old farmer to enable him to buy land instead of renting, exactly the sort of thing which Kent Rural PLC wants to help develop and support.
This is a £40 million investment scheme. We have leveraged over £29 million worth of private investment against an initial £11 million target of public investment. It is crucial that we show leverage against public investment, securing private investment for the long term.
Rural PLC is aware of the challenges associated with climate change, population growth and depletion of resources.
Political uncertainty and extreme weather events in other parts of the world will result in greater supply volatility, and our own country will not be exempt from the impact of climate change and population growth. But we can celebrate the fact that we are seeing our own retail and food manufacturing giants consolidating at home and making commitments to British farming.
It is our expectation that the first phase of the Betzanger Sustainable Parks scheme will be completed by late 2015. This is a huge, huge achievement for East Kent and the wider Kent community.
Rural has to mean forward.
Food production is a safe haven sector, and Kent is at the forefront of the sector's growth.
Rural PLC understands that the triple bottom line, profit, people and planet, is important to the entire county, but none more so than in the rural sector.